A very good morning, all. And there is a little change of timetable or schedule today. The mobile computing session of Nilesh sirs will be conducted after this lecture. So we have just changed the timings of the lectures for today's. Right? So now let's start with the things that we have left yesterday. In the yesterday's lecture, we stopped with the inheritance program. What was the title of that program? Can anyone tell me? What was the program that was to be implemented? If I am not wrong, right, then this was the program to be implemented. We need to create a class for our books whose data members are book name, author, and pages. We need to create a class called technical books that inherits the books class with a members of publication. Not the price is not required, only the publication, let's say, right? And then we just need to print all of them on the browser's screen. This was the program. So how many of you completed this program, the inheritance part, using extends keyword? How many of you have completed this program? Let me know first. Zanella, I will just show you that part in a moment. Just wait. But first of all, I am talking about this particular program. Yes, guys, please tell me, how many of you have completed this one? Yes, guys, come on, tell me, how many of you completed this program on your screen, that you can see on your screen? Anyone? If not, do it right now. If you have not done this program, do it right now. Or I'll just show you how to write down this particular program, and then based on this, I'm going to give you the next task, right? So let's see the program then. So this is what the program I was expecting. So I have a class called books, which are having the properties called title, author, and let's say instead of pages, I would say, instead of price, I would say pages, right? Then I am creating one constructor for setting up the values for all the three properties, or I would say assigning the values to all the three properties. So I'm using a constructor with three parameters and I'm setting up the values to this particular properties. The next function in this class books is get values. Now this function will be used to just print whatever values has been set for these properties. So I'm saying echo, title of the book is this and this one. Then again echo, the author name is this, and I would say the book pages are, and I would say here pages, and here also I need to change pages, right? So what I have done in the class book, I have used the constructor to set the values of title of the book, author of the book, and the pages of the book, and I have used get values function for printing all those details. Now the next question was, I need to create a child class called technical books that inherits the original books parent class with members called publication. I just need to print what type of book actually it is, right? So I'm going to take a child class called technical books, and it is extending the parent class books. I have a public property called publication. Now I'm using two different functions, set and get, for just taking the value for this publication and printing it. So set function is going to assign some value to this public property called publication. So I've used $this arrow publication equals to $P, and then I'll use this get function to just print whatever value has been set for this publication. So similar to what we have been doing since last two lectures, right? So now what I'll do after this class is closed, I'm creating the object of child class. And once the child class is inheriting the parent class, so ultimately it can have an access to all the components of the parent class. So ultimately the child class is having the control over this constructor as well as this get values function, right? So I'm saying $O is equals to new technical books, the object of the child class. And with this object of the child class, I'm trying to directly access the constructor of parent class. So I'm passing three parameters, $T, $A, and $P. So I'm passing $P, that is title of the book called Advanced Web Technology, $A for author, so Rachit Advaryu, and pages, so let's say 350 pages, right? So this is what the constructor has been called. I would say here, parent class constructor. So I have invoked parent class constructor here in this particular line. Next thing I am saying $O set. Now what is set? Set is the function of child class. So I am invoking now the child class function. I am giving the value as executive publishers. So this executive publishers will be given to this publication. And this advanced web technology, Rachit Advaryu and 350 has been assigned to these three, right? Advanced web technology, Rachit Advaryu and 350. And executive publishers has been assigned to this publication. Similarly, I am also calling a function of parent class. I am saying this is parent class function or method, whatever you can say. Let's say parent class method, and I'm saying invoking child class method or set method actually, right? And then again I am printing, or I am calling up $O get. Now get is again the function of child class. So we will say here it is child class method. Right? Child class method. So what I have done, I have created a constructor in a parent class, also a simple function in the parent class, and these two functions and constructors are used by the child class to print the details of the books. So if I save this program and try to execute it on my browser, let's say localhost, and say I will say p7.php. You can see the title of the book is Advanced Web Technology. Author's name is Rachit Advaryu. The book pages are 350 and the publication of the book is Executive Publishers. So whatever values we have passed from here, right, using the object of a child class, was ready to access all the components of parent as well as its own class. So this is what we call it as simple inheritance, where one child class is inheriting the single parent class. I hope it is clear, everyone. Any doubts with this program and this output? There could be some grammatical mistakes, but not the program mistakes. Right? Is it clear, guys? Everyone? Everyone is clear with this? Right. So Zenela, coming to your query, I am just showing you what you can do in this case. So just give me a moment. Be quick to look at this particular part, the gender part, as you are asking to me. See, this is what you should do. This is how you can compare. Zainala or Allama, whatever. Right, Zainala? Right, okay. So I hope it is clear, guys, everyone. Any queries so far with this? Okay. Then let me just give you the next task based on this program. Do you want this program in your chats for the reference or for the next program? Do you want this program in your chats? Yes? Okay, then I'll post it. So this is my base class or a parent class, and this is my child class with its invocation. So I've posted everything in your chats. So based on this, here is my next program. That's you to do in next, I would say, 12 minutes. So I'm just opening that program now. Not this one. I'm just removing it, or I will say this one. Read it out first, and then I will explain. Read it out first. You read it out on your own first, and then I will explain what is this program all about. It's simple multi-level inheritance, I would say. It's simply multi-level inheritance. So you need to create one class called university, which has the members called university name and city. You need to create one more class called student, which inherits university class with its own data members as student name, semester, and email. And then you again need to create one more class called subject that is inheriting student class with its own data members as subject name, total credits of that subject, and the total number of units in the syllabus of that particular subject. So it is multi-level, A to B and B to C ultimately. A, B, C, there are three classes. B is inheriting A and C is inheriting B. So university, student and subject. Student is inheriting university and subject is inheriting student class. And you need to use functions, everywhere the functions for all types of data management. Either it is assigning the values to the properties or printing those values. Clear with the program, guys? Clear with the program? Anyone, any queries with the program? You can use the same code that is available in your chats to refer it. Do not use constructors. Specifically, I said you need to use functions compulsorily. For each and every class, each and every property, for assigning the value or printing the value, you have to use functions. That's it. So start working on this program now. It's 10:01 in my watch, and I want this program to be completed by 10:15. I'm giving you 12 minutes from now, 12 to 30 minutes from now to complete this program. Once you are done with this program, paste the complete code in the chats. Paste the complete code in my chats. Right? Start working on it, guys. Your time starts now. So how many of you started with this program? Okay, about 5 students have started. That's good. And I hope everyone is working on practical 1 and 2 seriously, as discussed in the lab sessions. Because I'm going to generate the classroom for practical 1 and 2 very soon. So five. Yes, Ahmed.
Sorry, sir, but I have a question.
Yes.
For the project by Bootstrap 5,
Hmm.
I was working on Bootstrap 3.0, I think, or 3.5.
Okay.
Is there any change I should do for it, or what? It's the
See,
same, the
so
same
that is
class.
the only, yeah, that is the only reason why when I was dictating the Bootstrap 5 in your lab session, I said that do not install Bootstrap to your local system. Rather use only the CDN files.
I am
CDN,
using the link, sir.
you're using CDN only?
Yeah, just link, the link.
No. What I'm saying is, I'll just show you what I'm actually expecting. Just wait. Let me just open that folder. Mm. So see, I'm talking about this one. If I'm saying this HTML, then you don't have to install the Bootstrap into your system. This link is not valid one. Instead of that, I'm using the online library. That is this one. So this will directly get me the Bootstrap 5 into my application directly without installing Bootstrap 5 to my local system.
Yes, sir. I am using the same link, but for Bootstrap 3.5. Just I want to change the link.
Yeah,
Then,
you just need, yes, exactly. You just need to change the link of Bootstrap 5. So you'll be
so
able to work with it directly.
my question, sir, should I then change any classes, or it's the same
There won't
for
be any
Bootstrap?
difference in the classes. There are some changes in their layouts. So you just change it and just see first what changes it is getting, first of all,
Okay,
before.
okay, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
done, sir. Thank you.
Okay. You need to use total 6 number of functions. 2 functions in university class, 2 functions in student class, and 2 functions in subject class. In each of the classes, one function will be for taking input and one function will be for printing one in each of them. Yeah, I just show you. Just a moment. Yes. Yes. This is what the program is. So I'll say for university class, I will create get u and let's say set u function. Set u will get the details of the name and city, and get u will print the details of name and city. Similarly, for student, I will say get st and set st function. So again, set st function will assign the values to name, semester, and email, and get st will print the values of these three. And similarly for subject, that I'll use get sb and set sb function. So this is how you can work on with the functions. Anyone completed this? I already defined what you need to do now. Now it's up to you how you can implement this one. Good, Zainullah. You have about 6 or 7 minutes left to complete this program and put it in the chats. Yes? Yeah. Anyone? Yes? Yeah, guys, 2 minutes left to complete this program. Or do you want extension in the time? I could be liberal, I don't mind, but not that much liberal. So one student in the physical class has completed the program. Expecting from more in the online classes. Come on, guys. Yeah, Akash, can you please paste your code in the chats? Let me check it out. Okay, I've got it. Akash, please no, don't have a practice of writing HTML inside the PHP code, please. Don't use HTML and body tags. It's irrelevant to use these tags with PHP. Only if you are having some real design works, then and then put it. Otherwise, not. Okay, right. I can assume what you have done for the rest of the program. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I want to see the objects. That is the important part from me. What object you have created? Your object of subject. Okay. Set values. Set value. Set as. Okay. Okay. Right. So, have you executed this particular program in your laptop? Okay, you are getting the relevant output, that is details of student studying in a particular university for a particular subject. Very good, fine. Right, so I got one answer. Okay, Zenela, I can extend it by maximum 2 minutes. So I will check out, I'll start with the new topic at 10:18 from now. So it's already 10:16 in my watch. I can just wait for 2 minutes more. And then we'll start with the next topic. Wherever you are left with or whatever you are left with, you will complete it after that. Okay? Anyone else other than... No, Akash, I have already seen the code. From that, I can already assume what type of output it would be. So there is nothing to be shared. No issues. Yeah. Expecting some more answers in the chats. Be quick, guys. Come on. Once you create class university, completely all the functions, you just need to copy it 2 more times and change the relevant properties and functions. That's it. Sometimes copy paste is far better than writing down each codes. Yeah. Okay, guys, so I'm stopping this. You can pause your work now and let's continue with the next topic then. I'm closing this file. Good, Mohammed, if it's done. I'm continuing with the next topic now. Okay, Mohammed, that's good if you're done. So, guys, now look at the PPT now. Moving on to the next topic. So, this is what the example that we have seen, and the next topic is encapsulation. Guys, what do you mean by encapsulation? Anyone, anything that you know? Ultimately, the encapsulation is like bundling or making a group of components into one single bundle. That is the main your requirement or main definition of the encapsulation. It means that whatever important things that you have in your program, you can then merge them into one single bundle. A bundling of components of program, we call it as encapsulation. And how we bundle and why we bundle is the security of your code. And if you want to have the security of your code, we declare each and every components of that code using private access modifier. So private will not have any accesses outside that particular bundle. Right? So that is called encapsulation. Right? So I'm not going to go deep down in this encapsulation topic, but this is just for your reference. Right? Because you all learned encapsulation topic in your semesters from semester 3 OODP subjects. I'm not discussing it now. Only the thing is that we keep all the components of a class as private and keep them into one single bundle so that it is not accessed outside that particular bundle. That's it. Yes, exactly. Getter and setter values. Exactly. So guys, my next topic actually was multiple inheritance that is not supported by PHP. So we know that even in the .NET C# language, when we wanted to access or implement multiple inheritance, we were using interface. Now, what is multiple inheritance? Let me know first. What is multiple inheritance? Be quick to answer in the chats. Okay. Yeah, is it right? Is right. Yeah. Right? Yeah. What is multiple inheritance? What is multiple inheritance? Right. So multiple inheritance could be in two different ways. The first way is one child class is inheriting two parent class. Right? And second type of multiple inheritance could be one single parent class is being inherited by two different child class. I'm just showing you the example also for that. So in my notepad, if I want to say about the multiple inheritance, then I would say A is the parent class and B and C are the child class inheriting A class. So this is what the multiple inheritance is. And second way you can say A and B are the parent class and C is the child class that is inheriting A and B both. So we have two types of multiple inheritance. But generally, whenever we are dealing with a programming language, we always focus on this one. We always focus on this one. Two parent class being inherited by a single child class. But this is not possible in PHP. So for this, if you want to really implement this particular highlighted part one, then we have interface. We have interface. You can see the diagram. There are two parent class, parent A and parent B, and there is a single child C wants to inherit both of them. Right? So guys, interface was a particular term that we have already learned in Java, as well as in .NET also we have learned. So tell me, what is interface? Whenever there is clear difference between both of them that I have shown you. In the first one, it was one single parent class and two child class inheriting the single parent. And the second one, it was two parent and one child. There is no other difference. Okay, I think it is asking about the first type and the multi-level. Okay, the program that we did. In multi-level, what we have A to B and B to C. A is being inherited by B and B is being inherited by C. So it is multi-level, a level by level it is being inherited. In the first type, it was like A is inherited by B as well as C. So that is what we call it as multiple. Now is it clear? Yeah. So I'm talking about the interface. So interface is a particular component of OOP which allows you to declare a parent class using interface keyword. Now what is the use of interface, or what is the rule of interface? The rule of interface clearly states that if you are declaring any parent class using interface, then it does not have any function definition or function body. It only has function name. That's it. So a parent class that is interpreted as interface will be having only the method declaration, the method name. And the child class that is inheriting that interface will have the complete implementation of that method declared in the interface. That is the main thing about interface. No body, only the declaration of the method. Sorry?
We are declaring any function in the class. So we are going to discuss specific name, which is specific name for the class.
Yes, Zainala, you can unmute your mic.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I am working in Dart language, but in Dart language also multi-inheritance is not allowed. But I discover one technique to allow it. That is, I can extend one subclass from the child from the parent class. Then again, I can extend another subclass from the
Yeah,
parent
Zainala,
class.
the thing, yeah, I
Then
got it. I got it, what you are saying. So,
so it's
see,
allowed
there
in
are
PHP.
multiple tricks. There are many different tricks to deal with whatever is not supported by a particular programming language. So, seeing the thing that you might have learned is a trick to implement multiple inheritance in a different way in any of the programming language.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, those are the tricks. See, there are people who are ready to work on different types of challenges. Like I want to implement somehow the multiple inheritance without using interface. So they will take it as a challenge and implement it anyhow using some type of tricks. Right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So guys, let's see what is interface. What I said is this, all the theories. I'm not going to go for the theories, but there is a difference in interface as compared to inheritance. I'm coming to that difference now. So see, this is your parent class called interface. So this is your parent class. So interface keyword and the interface name. As I said, interface will not have any body of a program. It will have only the method names. So these are the two methods defined by that interface. Method 1, method 2. And now this class is a child class. My class is a child class. So I'll say here it is child class. What says class, my class, that is a child class, implements my interface. So instead of extends keyword, now we are using implements keyword, because it is going to implement whatever is defined in this interface. So again, it is a type of multiple inheritance, but we can say we have to use implements keyword instead of extends keyword. So my class implements this interface. And then what are the methods of interface? Method 1, method 2. So child class is bound, or it's compulsory for child class to use only those methods defined in interface. So it has used function method 1 and its body, function method 2 and its body. And then we'll create the object of child class and access these two. Right? Similarly, if I create child new class, implements my interface. So again, it is a multiple inheritance. Two child class inheriting one single class, or we can say another way, I'll create two different interface, and this child class will interpret or inherit both the interfaces. Right? So let's see this example. You'll come to know what exactly I want to say. So see this example. Yeah, I'm talking about this example now. See, yes. Yeah, this is the syntax. Now this is the example on your screen. Main difference is you cannot implement multiple inheritance using inheritance. So if you want to implement it, two parent class inherited by one single child class, that is not possible in inheritance. Data, it is saying there is one function called get, only one function get. There is another interface called print data, a function called put. So this is your parent class 1 and this is your parent class 2. So two interfaces have been declared. Now there is a child class called class 1 that is implementing get data interface as well as print data interface. So both those interface, both the parent class or parent interfaces are implemented or inherited by this class 1. And what I'm doing, I'm using these methods defined by the interfaces in my child class. Public function get, I'm printing something. Public function put, I'm printing something. Right? And then I'm creating the object of my child class and then just calling up both the methods of that child class. That is actually the methods of interface. Yes, exactly. We just remove the implementation of the functions that we have in the other classes. Actually, not the name, the implementation. The program that we did just before this topic, the 3 level of university, student and branch, you can try to modify them and implement in this way. Right? So are you clear with this program, guys? First of all, then I can show you the output. We have declared interface as a parent, two interfaces, two parents is being inherited by a child class using this keyword, right? And then you have the two functions implementation that is similar to the functions defined in the interface. So I'll just show you the output of this. I'll go to p8.php. You can see get data method called and put data method called. So one by one, both these methods got executed. And here, while creating the object, we are not using these round brackets. Only we are using the class name. That's it. So this is all about your interface. I hope I am clear with this. Any queries with this, guys? Sorry, I'm not getting. Yeah. You can just call it, but in the class you cannot use any of the variables other than different interface. So if the interface has defined one of the variables, say $name, then you can use that variable in the child class. And the child is
Declare new variables inside.
because child is bound, it is made compulsory for the child. If you want to have two parents, then use whatever parents ask you for giving you. It's strict, it's more strict. I would say. If a child class wants to have its own method here, it is not possible. Let's say, here, after this school function, I want to have your public function get data. It's not allowed. Because parents will say that you have to do only this school. Exactly. The child has to follow strictly the parents. This is the rule. Right? So clear with this now? Any queries, guys, with this interfaces? So let's call up this lecture here because the next topic won't be completed in next 3 to 4 minutes. So I'm ending up this lecture here and we'll continue from here in the next lecture on Monday. I'm just putting this code in your chats for your reference. So you can execute it on your own and whenever you get time. Right? So I'll stop this lecture here and I'm stopping the presentation of my screen here.